radalle ja nyt on se viimeinen paikka. Kuka ottaa tämän kilpailun paalupaikan? Ai, Schumacherilla on hurja vauhti päällä, 0,071. 50,8, mutta kestääkö auto käsissä? Nyt on kova paikka. Pystyykö Schumacher nousemaan kärkeen? Ai, se on kova paikka ja kaikki edellytykset saksalaiskuljettajalla Ferrari tähdellä on nousta kärkeen, mutta miten menee viimeinen kolmannes? Pysyykö auto hanskassa? Hyvin pysyy tuon Rivatsan ja nyt tullaan vielä viimeiset pätkät, pienet mutkat ja sitten kiihkeä vasen oikea ja se tulee tässä näin. Ottaako Schumacher ykköspaikan? Siitä näin kärkeen ottaa ykköspaikan ainoastaan 25 000 erolla, mutta Mika Hakkinen on radalla vielä. Mika pystyy kontrolloimaan tilannetta. Hän lähtee viimeiselle nopealle kierrokselle aivan salaman nopeasti. Tulee sieltä, mutta kuinka nopea hän on, hänen kierroksensa on. Sieltä tulee Mika ja lähtee viimeiselle nopealle kierrokselle. Ja aika käy Mikalle. Nyt on kaikki pelissä. 20 sekuntia enää ajoaikaa jäljellä. Mikan ajoitus on erinomaisen hyvä, mutta nyt pitää kaiken mennä nappiin. 18,3, aivan pian tullaan sille kohdalle. Mikä oli ero muuten Mika Häkkisen edessä aivan kuljettaa 6,3 sekuntia, eli kukaan ei ole lähellä. Ai, ei riitä. 0,085 Schumacher on viemässä paalupaikkaa ensimmäistä kertaa tällä kaudella. Ja Häkkinen joutuu kenties antautumaan, mutta muistetaan se, että keskimmäinen kolmannes on ollut Häkkiselle erittäin vahva. Erittäin vahva, nyt se nähdään. Vielä viimeiset mutkat, noustaan tuolta notkon pohjalta. Miljoonaa sieltä hirvittävällä poljennolla. Häkkinen pahtaa. 50,8. Riitääkö Mikan vauhti? Hyvin pysyy auto hanskassa. Ei ainakaan silmän nähden mitään virheitä. Sieltä tullaan mäen päälle ja nyt se nähdään. Ei riitä.
Mutta vain 800, vielä kaikki on mahdollista.
Mutta siinä meni ja kansa nousee jo täällä hurraamaan. Schumacher ottaa paalupaikan, ei voi kyllä mitään. On se hirvittävän kovaa peliä. Schumacher tulee ja nappaa paalupaikan. Sivuluisussa Häkkinen vetää vielä tuo viimeisen Rivatsa-kurvan. Ja nyt sitten tullaan lähtösuoraan kohden hirvittävällä nopeudella. Ja kansa huutaa täällä jo hurmiossa. Schumacher on ottanut paalupaikan, Ferrari saa juhlia, mutta Häkkinen korjaa potin huomenna, näin me uskomme. Sieltä tullaan... Hei! Mika! Loistava! Mika teki sen Ferrari kotiradalla. Oi mielet!
Haluaakohan todella Häkkinen yrittää Kulherista ohi. Toinen asia on se, että onko Villeneuveillä riittävästi polttoa.
Häkkinen ja toiseksi!
Hyvä!
Häkkinen toiseksi! Loistavaa! Hyvä Suomi!
Voittoon ei ole enää pitkä matka.
Nyt on pieni mahdollisuus, että Häkkinen nousee sittenkin tämä kilpailu voittajaksi, jos Villeneuve sen sallii. Ero 2,5 sekuntia. Näin olemme Häkkisen autossa ja hän ei pääse Fisikellan ohitse. Ei pääse.
Ei muuta kuin...
Tuossa olisi ollut tuo paikka.
No se on vielä se tulee.
Siinä se tulee. Hyvä. Häkkinen on ohi.
Ja nyt
Villeneuve
puolesta kierrosta Urkouki.
Tuleeko se voitto sittenkin Suomeen, että Häkkinen voittaa ja Villeneuve on toisena? Mika! Nyt kaikki peliin. 1,7 sekuntia. Oi mieletöntä. Tuleeko se?
Paina.
Takaa suoraan nyt Mika! Häkkinen voittaa! Ai mieletöntä! Hyvä Mika! Se on siinä! Sieltä se tulee!
Ja Kulhauki ohi!
Toiseksi! Mieletön juttu!
McLarenille kaksoisvoitto!
Ei, Kuusa hyytyy! Mikä voittaa?
Ei hyytynyt, mutta Perkele taisi mennä vielä Villeneuveistä aivan tuossa. Ei mennyt.
Kolmas. Mika Häkkinen otti urallaan ensimmäisen voiton. Ai, mahtava juttu. Häkkinen voitti. Se tuli sieltä. Se on siinä. Se on siinä.
McLaren Mercedekselle kaksoisvoitto.
Tätä ei kukaan meiltä vie pois. Ei koskaan. Se on saatu. Ja viety historian saman tien. Hyvä Mika! 185,2 on voittajan keskituntinopeus. Ei muuta kuin voittaa. Nyt se tuli.
Well, People say that I'm sympathetic to Schumacher. You can see why. I'm sympathetic to this man too, Mika Hakkinen, but he's only 6th fastest. This is the man that started in pole position for all 3 races this year.
Yes, Michael clearly likes that T-car. He's going to be wondering why he didn't use it earlier in the weekend, because it is faster than his other car, no doubt about it. He's obviously happier, can get it into the apexes, get on the throttle when he wants to, and Hakkinen a fraction up, look, 0.02 of a second up on Schumacher's first part of the lap. But for me, that's not the critical bit. The really tough bit comes later on, hooking it up through the swimming pool, attacking, just having the car moving around underneath you without losing anything. And well, we know Hakkinen's quite capable of doing that, so let's see how he copes with this is the new chicane, second section. He's a fraction now, you can see he's now 0.08 behind Michael, so now he's got to attack, takes good speed in, look at the way he turns the wheel, just wrenches the car in the corner. That's the amount of grip and confidence he's got the back end dancing there. I think he went through there slightly quicker than Michael, compromised the exit a little bit, and well, again, I still don't know, he's run a little bit wide. No, he just didn't take the apex speed through there that Michael did, but can he? He's got fantastic straight line speed with this car. It's been quickest in all the sections all weekend. Can Hakkinen make the difference over the line? No, he can't.
Half a second slower, but once again, it's Michael Schumacher versus Mika Hakkinen, and this time it's Schumacher up front. And we've got 20 minutes to go than Frentzen. A terrific last lap by Eddie Irvine, but I think the McLarens might do it.
Barrichello goes 4th. Barrichello in the Stewart Ford up to 4th place, back onto the second row.
Wow, Ferrari, McLaren, Stewart, Jordan, McLaren, David Coulthard. The Prost of Trulli was 3rd, it's now 7th. That's how quickly it changes. The BAR of Jacques Villeneuve is 8th. His teammate Salo is in 11th position, and 9th and 10th, the 2 Benettons of Fisichella and Wurz.
Now watch the McLaren, he can't get the front end. The grip at the front of that McLaren is just not good enough to match the Ferrari pace, certainly Schumacher's pace. Hakkinen giving it everything, losing traction out of there. It's not going to take pole, it might just take a front row. No, it's not going to. Stays in 3rd. Hakkinen getting ragged. He's got another chance left though. He's got another set of tyres, has Mika Hakkinen.
And this is Mika Hakkinen coming through to complete his 11th lap out of the 12 that he is allowed as the BAR comes up behind him. Now Mika Hakkinen will boot it now. It's now or never for the Finn.
Yes, it's worth just going a little bit more calmly through that last corner and just getting good drive onto the pit straight. It's not worth attacking. I notice the drivers are taking a very calm out lap anyway, trying to keep the tyre temperature down a little bit. It's obviously finding them some grip. So this is Hakkinen's 4th and final effort. There's 20 seconds left to go in this session, so clearly this time will count, but he won't get another flying lap in. This is the one. He's got a, I think it was a Williams down the road.
It's Zanardi.
Got a Williams down the road, and he's up. Fastest first section so far to Mika Hakkinen by quite a long way, 20.3. That is easily the fastest we've seen all through the practice sessions. So Hakkinen clearly has got a good car underneath him, and he's driving the lap nicely, heading through the tunnel now. Won't even think about lifting the throttle, up to about 176, 177 miles an hour. And I tell you, that looks fast when you're sitting in there with that chicane coming towards you. Didn't lock a wheel, that's good.
Still in.
And clean and tidy over the curbs. This is a very, very good lap.
Hand up there, and Zanardi, the gap is enough for him not to close on Zanardi. Don't know why he put his hand out of the cockpit there.
He put his hand out of the cockpit to acknowledge the yellow flags. That's a bit of a trick Mika's got of saying, I'm not going to slow down, but I have seen you. Look, he still didn't get the front into Raskas. He still lost a lot of time through there. Did he have enough in his pocket to take the pole position? I think he could just creep on the front row of the grid with this. What does Hakkinen do?
Yes, Mika Hakkinen goes into pole position.
With Ferrari's Michael Schumacher sidelined due to the leg injury he sustained at Silverstone, McLaren Mercedes dominated qualifying, with Mika Hakkinen on the pole and alongside him David Coulthard. Mika won the start, but David in the tow found himself down the inside going into turn 2. He could have braked earlier, but then Mika could have given him more room. The 1998 champion spun to the back of the field. With the position stabilising at the front, attention focused on the brilliance of Mika Hakkinen. Angry after the incident, he sliced his way through the midfield with surgical precision, hanging back when he needed a run on exit, plunging late on the brakes when there was no other option. Every car was a target for the remorseless Hakkinen. He set fastest lap and then went quicker still. Although all the teams were racing this year on Bridgestone tyres, there were differences in wear rates. Rubens Barrichello, who'd been leading Irvine since the Turn 2 incident, came in for his tyres and fuel. Then it was Coulthard's turn. Irvine, for his part, stayed out there, extending the tyres' usage. By the time he stopped, the lead was his. Now the race reached its climax. Irvine led Coulthard, but David was catching the Ferrari. Further back and sensing now a podium finish, Mika continued his charge. Jordan's Heinz-Harald Frentzen fought hard, but eventually Mika braked impossibly late into the blind entry of Turn 1. Next in Mika's sights was Barrichello. Rubens' great drive came to naught when the engine blew in a cloud of expensive smoke. Coulthard rhythmically closed the gap. This was no Monaco. You could pass here in Austria, as Mika had proved all day. And so they came to the final lap. The crowd seized the moment. The McLaren was on the Ferrari's rear wing all round the circuit, looking for a gap. Irvine, excellent in defence, perfectly positioned and paced his Ferrari, obliging Coulthard to come slightly out of the throttle just when the Scot wanted to floor it. Out of the last corner they came, and Irvine had it, pulling his car across to the pit wall and raising his arm in team salute. He'd consolidated his new seniority at Ferrari with a classic win, and the World Championship was for him now a real possibility. Coulthard was second and Mika Hakkinen a superb third, a result, as it turned out, that would help him to win the cliffhanger that was to come in the season's finale.
Knew that way following Michael, it's no point to try to follow him and then try to overtake him and at the straight, because obviously he's not going to give me a room. Is correct?
Yeah.
So I took plan B and overtook the back marker, and at the same time overtook the Michael. And it was great overtaking maneuver, and I loved it. I'm not sure if the Michael did.